Some people are sitting on $1 million ideas, but not sure how to implement them. And praying for an opportunity and then scrolling and posting and not having an actual framework, you don't recognize blessings when it comes. But Adrian Mays has an opportunity to share with you something amazing that for people that aren't playing small. We're going to talk to someone today who I actually met through the DM, meeting Carlos through his BA, Danielle, connecting us. And that one connection led me to Ricardo, meeting with him last week. Amazing individual. And jumping on that Zoom on December 3rd, the moment he opened his mouth, I knew that he was different. His story said, you're the only person that's going to be able to change and transform you. It's how you actually present yourself. So when I listened and I was actually engaged and listening to how he was self taught, self funded, self driven, and now this matters because there are so many entrepreneurs that need some type of collaboration strategy, but they don't have someone to actually help them implement it, help them show them the step by step process in regards to how to get that done. And the power of art that he's mastered of networking, this pricing is sacred. It's branding for your life. It's money, the money story that keeps a lot of people looking small. Ricardo Vega is about to break that whole chain off for you in regards to this live. So why most entrepreneurs stay broke? They really don't understand the money leaks and starting with yourself, the value that you can actually provide within you, and understanding that, hey, step by step, having a framework and telling yourself that someone else can actually collaborate, having a DM to a VA to a conversation to a connection that turns into an exponential opportunity for the actual next step. It's not networking, it's actually alignment. The marketing shift that he kind of broke down with me even before to this call this today. He just literally looking at it as calculating your opportunity loss, looking at it where you're not working harder, but you're working smarter. You're working towards your goal, but you're basing it off of something of new currency called your story. So Ricardo's journey not only has authenticity, opening up and being able to understand that every entrepreneur isn't alone when you look into collaboration. Three things you're going to walk away with today is literally unshakable confidence. Number one, that's what he presents in regards to apologizing is not even an option for knowing your price and your value. Knowing who you are, period, is a way that you can actually scale. Number two is a way to sell without feeling like you're selling. Being able to have your many people and hearing how a VA actually works and understand that you're not losing if you're working smarter and faster. And number three, a strategy that you can use today, not theory, not fluff, but action. Being able to understand that playing small isn't an option. And right now, what we're going to do is listen to Ricardo share with us some of the ins and outs of where he's been, where he is now, and where he's going, and learning how collaboration becomes wealth, how your story becomes the massive strategy, and how confidence that actually determines the end evaluation of your cash flow. So if you're watching live, I want you to drop a I'm in the comments for me and be bringing in the amazing Ricardo Rodriguez. How are you, my friend? What up, though? That's what we say
I'm
from
I'm
Detroit,
doing I'm
Michigan.
doing good. Hey everybody. Man,
Yes,
you have a
and
lot of energy. I gotta match that. I gotta get
come,
up and say,
you got to
let's
get up.
go.
And look, from the gate, Cynthia Dozier already said she's front and center, be ready to hear your actual story. So we have to say what up, though, to Cynthia, just tuning in to be able to hear this amazing individual and as he speaks today. So, Ricardo, I'm not going to even jump right into it, right? In regards to self taught and self made, that was the first thing that stood out to me when we had that conversation last week. What was the moment for you that forced you to change your entire trajectory and mindset in regards to collaboration?
Years ago,
Mhm.
the way it started, I was in college, right? I didn't graduate college, but I was in college at the time. I was working in an office doing office work. And my boss called me in and said, "Hey, come pick up your check." And I went to pick up my check, and she says, "Can you give this to your coworker? Let's just call him John." I forgot. I
Mhm.
don't even know his name. This was years ago. And then, and I said, "Okay, I'll take it to him because I'm gonna pass his office." So his check was a little bit open, and I opened it up to see how much he was getting paid,
Mhm.
and I saw he was getting the same amount as I was.
Mm.
And that, well, I didn't like that. I said, "Here's your check." And I went back to the office. I said, "There's no way he's going to get paid the same amount as me because I work harder. I'm
Right.
in early, leave late, do a little extra, always helping out. I need a little bit more." Right. So
Mhm.
I went to my boss and I said, "Listen, I need a raise." because this he's late, always late. He's always messing up. Why is he getting paid the same amount? And she said, I can't give you a raise. I said,
Mhm.
well, if you don't give me a raise, I'm going to quit right now. And she said, well, I can't do that. I said, well, have a good day. And I
Right.
packed and left. And that was the beginning of looking for commission based only type of work because
Mm.
I control my income. And so that's what the collaboration started collaborating, learning, and surrounding myself with better people that help you, that want to help you see you move up and grow. That's what that started.
And you know what's so funny? I texted you maybe a few days ago, and or
Mhm.
even after we connected, and you said, "I can't change the world. You only can change your world." Kind of share with the mindset in regards to that DM, and for other entrepreneurs that might even be the power of words. To be honest.
Yes, because you know, and I hear that a lot from a lot of people, from entrepreneurs, that they want to change the world, and and you can't change the world. You really can. You can only change your world, my
Right.
world, what's
Mhm.
happening in my circle. That's the only thing you can change, and that's the focus. Because at the end of the day, what changes, what I learned two things. I learned, if I learn anything, I learned one thing about human behavior.
Mhm.
If you don't have a strong core desire to do something, you will not do it. So I cannot change people, and you
Mhm.
see this a lot on sale in sales. Like you know how they say, "I'm a closer," or "You're gonna be a closer." I don't know why we use. I'm using that word for lack of better words. But
Okay.
no, I cannot close anybody. I can't
Mhm.
close you. There's nothing I can say to you that's gonna make you say, you know what, you make sense. Here's my card. I'm in. There's nothing I can say. If you say I have no money, I gotta talk to this. I gotta do this. If you don't have a desire after you receive the information, the um the solution to assist you to your
Mhm.
problem, and you still don't, you got to think about it. There's
Right.
nothing I can say to you to change your mind. I can't change that world. I can only change me. You see what
It,
I'm saying?
I
And
do.
that's the focus. Just do you and provide whatever value you're going to provide, and then let them do whatever they want with it. You know?
And I love how you positioned that, but I know that didn't just happen overnight in regards to how your thought process is. What pain did you go through that shaped that way that you teach not only yourself, but you're also other entrepreneurs that you teach now?
The biggest pain that I experienced when I left my job and
Hmm.
started looking for sales, commission based only work. So I answered an ad in the paper. This is back in this is back in the day. You
Right,
answer
right,
an
right,
ad,
right.
circling stuff. I don't think people know what newspaper is anymore. Anyway, so I answered an ad, warehouse work, start
Hmm.
from the bottom up to manager. So when I got there, I got interviewed. They said, "Okay, come tomorrow, and I'm gonna show you the ropes." And so when I came in, I had a suit on and everything. The next day, they was gonna show me, it was like an orientation to show me what they do.
Hmm.
And I'm thinking I'm gonna be in a warehouse. Next thing I know, I'm in a car with a guy who looks like John Candy. I don't know if you guys remember the actor John Candy. I was with a guy that looks just like him,
Hmm. Hmm.
big glasses, shirt about to pop, and he he parked his car. He got a big duffel bag and put it over his shoulders, and we
Hmm.
started going door to door, business to business, selling cheap Chinese consumer goods, calculator, books, watches, hats, and that was the beginning of me selling, learning how to sell, going door to door. Now
Hmm.
they had a program that if you train people to do 150 bucks a day, they motivate you, they promote you to a leader. Now you're gonna start building your team, and I built my team and all that stuff. I grew, and then I got promoted to ownership. And when you get promoted to owner, they provide you with $150,000 worth of merchandise to sell. Now you
Hmm.
stay in the office, your guys go out, you make money everything they sell, and I was running a $5 million a year business. I was 21 years old when I was an owner,
Hmm.
and I had no idea how to manage money. I came from a very poor family. My mom raised 8 kids, 4 different fathers. I never met my dad. I don't even know what he looks like. I don't have a picture of him. I know he's handsome because hello, but he got to be good looking. So,
Right, right.
but anyway, so I grew up with that mindset of we lacked. and I didn't even have shoes when I was growing up. And so even going to high school, I had holes in my shoes. So I
Mm-hmm.
had that mentality of lack. And so when I came upon this money, the problem, the mistake that company made was not providing me with a financial advisor. This is how you balance a check and account, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the
Mm-hmm.
word no didn't exist. I was making so much money, it was crazy. And so I blew it all. Everything, I lost everything. That was the pain you're talking about. I lost everything. And then I got a,
So you lost everything, just literally just blowing it, not having any financial direction. Is that
I was like, girl, if you was my friend, we traveling. I said, I
right?
got you.
Right.
You didn't need no money. I got you. So you would love me. But those friends ain't gone. They ain't here no more.
Right.
But
Right.
I lost it all. I lost everything. And it didn't hit me until I got a job at a work furniture store. And after, you know how they give you 2 weeks, 3 weeks before you get your first check, right? You got to
Mm-hmm.
go through
Right.
that period. So when I got my first check after 3 weeks, it was $483 and some change. And that's when I realized I'm no longer a seven-figure earner.
Right.
And I lost every, and it kept going down, down from there.
Mm.
And then there was a knock on the door,
Mm-hmm.
sheriff department, and we were getting evicted at that time.
Mm.
The kids were little. I had three kids that were little. We were getting evicted. Get out. I lost. When you talk about losing everything, lost everything. And then that was the time when I was looking into career builders to look for a job. If anybody knows career builders, like Indeed.
Right.
And
Right.
so I met somebody that wanted me to say, hey, join this program. It was a network marketing company. No, it was a coaching program. And he introduced me to a mentor, John
Mm-hmm.
Furman. I don't even know if he's alive, but he introduced me to a mentor, John Furman, who wrote the book Reject Me, I Love It. So that was my mentor. He said, if
Okay.
you join us, it costs $8,000 and
Mm-hmm.
you have your personal mentor. And I was like, I ain't got no money. I got to get a job. So I'll hit you back. So when I was getting evicted, I called John and I said, hey, I don't need any money. I just need some advice, some guidance. This
Mm-hmm.
is the situation. And he goes, figure out how to get $8,000, join this program, and you'll never worry about money ever again. And we hung up. And so at that moment, I called everybody and their mother, screaming, crying, begging, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I got 16K that day. And from there, I
And you just
invested,
needed 8.
I just did an eight. And I invested $8,000 into that program. And it was a program that teaches you how to build a network marketing business.
Mm-hmm.
And so within the program, I created my own course.
Okay.
And then I started doing live dials, calling leads, sending them to my opportunity. And then I said, hey, if you want a one-on-one strategy, come to my, send me an email, let's talk. I didn't even have a calendar. So Pete, I was talking to a guy, giving him, advice on his business. He's like, hey, I like what you do calling leads. Can you call leads for me and send them to my opportunity? And
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure. He's like, how much do you charge? And I said, 10K, 10
Mm-hmm.
grand. He's like, okay, how do I send that to you? Because I can do that right now. I said, okay, give me a moment. I gotta get this call. I didn't have a call. I said, I don't know what to do. I said, let me call you back.
Right.
It's I came to the room and I said, honey, this crazy guy want to send us 10K to do calls for him. What do you want to do? I don't know what to do. And
Mm-hmm.
she was the smart one to put it together in a agreement and things like that to, expectations, what we're gonna do, what that
Right.
looks like. So we sent it to him, he signed it, and within 3 hours we had 10K in our account. And that was my first client. And that's an important point because I get a lot of clients, I coach a lot of people now, and they go, I'm not ready to launch my course or my business because I don't have no um testimonials. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
helped anybody.
Right.
Nobody gonna listen to me. Don't believe that. That's the wrong mindset. So because every coach started with no testimonials.
Right.
You gotta start with one. And that was my first thing, and so that became a business. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how I took that, for the rest of my life. That's what I always charge to this day. And so, but no, I know my value now. I know I can help somebody. Well, not help somebody. You can't help anybody. You can only provide them with the tools so they can help themselves. And so that's how that works. And
And
that
it
that was a journey. That was a all in a summarized journey there.
But it also led you to writing your own book though, right? In regards to the power, like you said, you came up with your own method. So tell your friends about me, the art of networking. Like talk a
Yeah,
little bit, and I know you just had that come out what in 2024, but talk a little bit
yeah.
about your actual book and the journey to you getting to the point of writing your own book.
Yeah, so back in the days, we're going back to collaboration. So back in the day, I had a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
and his name is Tom Beal, and he used to have mastermind events in a restaurant. So it's like 15 of us, entrepreneurs, successful people. We meet at a restaurant once a month, and we just, if you want to buy food, you can buy food, you can eat, you can whatever. So we on the round table, and everybody's going one by one, telling about what they do, how they help the community, what's happening in their business, how can we help you, how can we bless you with some
Mm-hmm.
direction, what are you struggling with, what's working, what's not working. And so we did that once a month. So every time um, when I gave somebody some good advice, some suggestions, like, oh man, I didn't even think about it. Thanks, Ricardo. I'm glad you're here today. That's
Right,
good.
right.
And then
Mm-hmm.
I would say, tell your friends about me. So I always kept saying that, tell your friends about me.
Mm-hmm.
And then one guy said, you should write a book and title it, Tell Your Friends About Me. Now we're talking back in, from 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
And so when I decided to write my book, that's how the title came about. Tell Your
I
Friends About Me, The Art of Networking.
I love it. I love it. So just because back in the day, just having that story driven, people just saying that on the fly, just kind of
Yeah.
inspired you to keep that same title for your actual book. So, I mean, do you use your book to? Because I know when we talked, and I was just talking to you about our AI legacy blueprint, our master calculator. How important is it in regards to those, like you mentioned, masterminds and, having other people kind of help you in regards to what you're trying to build?
Yeah, you're in regards to mastermind, you're tapping into someone else's knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a you don't have to be an expert to create something amazing. You
Right.
just need an idea, a vision, and hire the expert to get help you get that vision out there and make it a reality. So that's how that I went about that. Just tapping into other people's knowledge. Some people are smarter than me. They say if you're the smartest one in the room, something's wrong. So, but you want to tap into other people's knowledge. You know stuff that I don't know, and I know stuff that you don't know. But when
Right.
we combine our skills and resources, we can create something special.
And that's the piece I loved because you connected me with Jim that we actually talking about the collaboration and the growth of that as well. Talk about what made you actually for your own business even take on, AI and VAs and things like that. Being able to kind of take that risk and see about that and growing your own business.
Well, why collaborate? I'm trying to understand your question. Why
Why
reframe
col-
your question?
so more so talk about like people that are on the fence in regards to being getting VAs, leveraging AI systems like you and I connected
Oh,
through the DM. Mhm.
yeah, you. Well, here's the problem. A lot of people join this industry with no experience,
Mhm.
and they join programs, they buy programs, and try to make money online, and they have no experience on how to make money online. And so they join these things and thinking that they're gonna learn how to do it, but they always doing it on their own. That's why they're struggling. And so they don't have a coach, they don't have a mentor. And you need to have a marketing coach. If you don't have a marketing coach and you post your stuff out there, if you're promoting a product or service, you're doing polls, you're doing videos, if you don't have a coach, an expert reviewing your marketing, you are doing hope marketing.
And
I
that's
hope
so funny.
somebody likes
I'm
my video.
smiling because you're literally saying the
Yeah,
last thing.
I hope somebody joins. I hope somebody buys. And that's how millions of people are doing it. This is why you hear stories of people saying, I've been trying to make this work for the past 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. I can't figure this out. And my question is always the same. Do you have a marketing coach? And the answer is
Mhm.
always no. And that's the reason why that doesn't work. I don't know any successful marketer who's done this by themselves. None. The only people I talk to are people who's doing it alone. Every expert has a team.
Right.
And that's why you need to have yourself a team. You need a virtual assistant. You need a lead generators, the appointment setters and closers, for lack of a better word. I hate that word, closers. people that's gonna take payment for you, right?
Right, right.
And so put in systems in place, automation. But you want to learn these skills. But once you learn these things, you learn to monetize it also. Learn to monetize your knowledge.
Hmm.
People have a lot of, they're very good at something. Whoever's watching this, you are good at something. Ask yourself, what am I good at that I have years of experience that I can teach someone? Put that into a curriculum, a course, a digital course, a self-directed course. Charge 5 grand for your course. Service 200 people a year, and that's your $1 million. That's how
And
you
it's
do
so
it.
funny. You literally, when I talked to you last week, remember I told you about our calculator and the price
Yeah,
of it. You made us change our pricing of our calculator that day, and it makes sense in regards to how the concept of it. But I guess the struggling piece for any entrepreneur is it you've done so many different things. So how do you actually look into you? One thing you said that still stands out to me is hiring a marketing coach. How important is it for you to get from A to B of your goals, having that marketing coach?
it's extremely important
Mhm.
because you can't do this blindly. When you get a job, anytime you get a job, they're gonna assign somebody who's been working there for years to train you on how
Right.
to do your job, even if you have experience, right? So when people do this type of business online and they come in this online space, they don't think of getting an expert to train them to do this. And it's just mind-boggling. So you definitely want to get yourself a coach. I have 6 coaches.
Mhm.
I have 6 people I talk to, and you need it. It's not something I want. It's something you need. Because when you talk to a coach and you sit down with them and they bless you with some strategy, you're like, oh my god, I didn't even think of that about that strategy. I didn't even think you could do that. That's amazing. I'm glad we talked today. I'm excited. That happens all the time, and that's so important. And also, if you're not listening to books on a regular basis to
Right.
feed your mind, you're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. It just doesn't work that way. You need to learn proper skill sets. You need to be, if you want to become the marketer, the expert, you need to learn how to be one. But you can only learn through other experts. That's why I used to do mastermind events once a month all the time. And because that's just the way it is. But nobody talks about that in this online space. All you see is, look how much I made today. You can do it too. Join me. And then when you join, there's nobody coaching you. You're just going through videos. It's equivalent to, you want to become a doctor. You, in your first day in class, you realize there's no instructors. They say, watch this video. Good luck in your next 6 years to becoming a doctor. That ain't gonna
Right.
happen.
Right. And Danielle is actually live with us, your VA. She's saying hi, y'all. And this interview is gold. And yes, and the key thing, I agree with you 100% because I know we've invested in regards to marketing and building our business as well. Having a Danielle on your team is amazing because, like I said, she linked me with you, and I'm truly appreciative of that as well. Because
Yeah.
again, taking those steps back and realizing what the end goal is. Like I told you last week, I'm on day 572 of the billionaire journey. So having that journey in that aspect, you have to have steps in a line. So I do agree with you there. But when you look at something that you talked about was opportunity lost, right? In regards to value, how should entrepreneurs calculate what they are losing to their clients by not working with them? So not really the price, but the cost of what it is for you not to work with me.
Work with a client, working with a coach.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of money. So if if you don't have a system in place or coach, you're definitely losing money. So if your course is 10K, for example, right? Let's say you're losing 10,000 a month. You're losing 10,000 a month. That's just one sale. We're not even counting how much the reality is until we go in deep into your process. But most people are losing a lot more than that. But to
Hmm.
be conservative, extremely conservative, let's say your product is 10K, you're losing $120,000 a year. So another
Right.
way to put it is, if your goal is to make 10,000 a month, but right now you, let's say you have a regular job, right? Or you
Hmm.
trying to build your business and you're only making 5,000 a month, right? So the difference is 5 grand. You want to get to 10, so the difference is 5 grand, right? Because you're making 5 now. So you want the extra five. So you lose every month that you're not having a coach or being guided properly.
Hmm.
You're losing 5K, right? So
So,
you times that by 12. That's how
so
much
tell
you're
me this: your
losing.
viewpoint in regards to organic marketing or even investing in ads. How do you actually see that in regards to growing your
You
business?
want to do, I think ads, I don't, I will do an ad
Hmm.
if I have a video that goes viral. If a video goes viral, like thousands and thousands of views, throw some ads in there, right? That's it.
Right.
But normally, the way we generate leads is through collaboration. So we
Hmm.
do interviews like this, or we do virtual roundtables, kind of like being in the restaurant and talking, and everybody's sharing what they do. And so, when you do virtual roundtables, you are tapping into other people's audience. And let's say you have five people in the roundtable. After that video is done, everybody's gonna get a copy, and guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna post it in their community.
Right.
Now, their community that had no idea who I am is seeing who are learning about me. That's
Hmm.
gonna generate clients. And that's just one. But we talked about the what about the other four? You got four different areas that people are posting these things and learning it. So the more you do collaboration, you don't never need to spend any money on ads ever. And that's how it's done. But you're collaborating with experts, people that are 6, 7, and 8 figure earners, entrepreneurs. And if you're not doing that, they ain't going nowhere. If you don't have a coach, you ain't going nowhere. It just doesn't work. I never met anybody that's done it by themselves.
And you can't do it by yourself. It's that's the key part of this as well. And even your VA Danielle, she set up our meeting and proof that collaboration, like you told me before we even started this live, that it works, right? It's currency. How can entrepreneurs leverage relationships that they build without feeling transactional? Like I know you mentioned the virtual roundtable, but are there any other ways that they can leverage relationships?
That's one way. You can also go do a live event. If you
Hmm.
do a live event and just to provide value, not look at us, don't look at it, don't go, I don't go to an event to make money because money comes to me, right?
Hmm.
So go to events in a live setting just to bless people with your knowledge, just to open a door for somebody, and the money will always come. And so you can do it that way, so it's you spend some money in traveling, but the return is huge, because if I let's say I meet you, Adrian, at an event for the first time,
Hmm.
I'm interested in you, but I'm more interested in the people who
Right, right.
that I don't have access to, but you do. But if you
Hmm.
like and trust me, it's easier for, and I provide you with a lot of value and show that I really want to assist you in building your business, scale your business, or generate clients for you. It's easy for you to refer somebody to me,
And
and
that's what you said too. Like referrals is the only thing that you actually are looking forward to.
that's it. And that's how you generate leads. It's not hard. It's just you gotta have a strong core desire to want to do that,
What, to win or to do what?
to
To
win,
do
to do
to win.
collaboration, to attend events, to have a coach, to do anything. You need to have a strong desire. If desire is not there, it doesn't matter what I tell people.
And I have to say hello and good evening to Halimat Sadia. They're tuning in live with us as well and wanted to make sure they reached out. So appreciate that.
Hey,
But tell me this, my friend, how can someone position their product or service so the customer feels like immediately they see the cost of waiting or the opportunity cost?
well, you want to put the way I do it is I provide a lot of value first,
Hmm.
and how this, because every customer, everybody, they all want the same thing: time freedom, financial freedom. They want to live life on their own terms. They want to travel. They want to make 10, 100,000 a month. They want to be in a situation where they never have to work again, take care of the family. Everybody does the same thing, right? So the way I do it, I show them, okay, this is the life you want. This is what you must do. And then I just
Hmm.
lay out the whole blueprint strategy and at the end of the presentation or the conversation, they have clarity. They know how to get to where they want to be. They understand how they got here, why they're here, and this is how you get out to attain the life you want. And now they have so much clarity and confidence that it's easy for them to say, hey, I'm in, here's my credit card. And I don't have
Right.
to ask. And I always tell people, I say, I don't need to sell you anything. I'm just
Mhm.
educating you. You want to attain this, this is what needs to happen. What would you like to do? And they get it. It just that's how you position yourself. Don't try to sell. You don't need to. I don't need to sell. The
Right.
key is try not to sell. Just how can I bless you for you and your family? What do we need to do? What's going on in your life? Let's go. Let's get it right.
Right, right. So talk about a little bit about what actually inspired you to actually have the strength to be an entrepreneur. I know you mentioned in regards to just that job and seeing the check, but did you have a mentor along the way that was pulling you through and making sure, that Ricardo was going to be the best that he could be?
Yeah. So what inspired when people ask me, I say, why do you do this? I think
Right.
you asked me that, and I say, it's because of you, the
Hmm.
people watching. And because it was done for me when I was going through some dark time. A stranger, entrepreneur stranger, he was not making money off of me. I was not in his team or nothing like that, but he decided to get on the phone with me at 10 o'clock. We was actually in a conference call over the phone. There's
Hmm.
no Zoom. It was over the phone. And they opened it up for Q&A, and I said, hey, can you call me after this? Because I have some personal questions I'd like to ask you.
Hmm.
And he's like, sure, what's your number? And I posted my number, and he called me. He called me at 10 p.m. and he stayed on the phone until we stayed on the phone until 2 in the morning.
Oh,
And
wow.
this was a guy that was doing he was the number one earner in the company, doing it 80 something thousand a month. And he didn't have to do that. And I asked him, why did you do it? And he said, because I work with people who want to work, whether they're in my team or not. And if you ever become successful, pay it forward and open doors for people. Pass on the information, tell people how things really work. The reality. I was talking to a client yesterday,
Hmm.
and he spent a lot of money on coaching. I mean, talking thousands and thousands of dollars. And my conversation with him, I just laid everything out. I gave it to him. And
Hmm.
he's like, this is one of the best conversations I ever had, most value I ever heard. I never heard nobody lay it out like this. Crazy. So, and I'm not saying that to blow my horn. I'm just saying a lot of these things you see, you hear out there, they don't tell you the whole truth. Not the truth. I
Right.
think they
Hmm.
don't give you the whole puzzle. There's always something missing. And so, oh, and back in the day, they used to call me the white hat guru. I used to wear a hat, the white hat
Uh-huh.
guru. But I tell you the truth. I say, no, that's not how it works. This is how it works. This is what you need
Uh-huh.
to do. No, here's why it doesn't work. They're not telling you the truth. Here's what you need. Here's what the reality. And people just appreciate that. They appreciate the reality and say, why they should have told me that years ago. Why didn't they tell me that? Now they want me to pay more money and blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's sad. That's not
Th-
how that works.
that's
But
a
if
lot of
you don't
people
know,
do
you
that.
don't know. Yeah.
Right. And how did you get linked with Kyle Rogers, that is connected with Russell Brunson and even collaborating with Jim Panos that you connected me with, collaborating. All of these are just collaborations that you set up. How did
Yeah.
you actually
Well,
how did you get connected with these individuals as well?
I they somebody posted something that said, hey, they're looking for closers, for lack of better words. So I said, you know what? Let me go in and see what they're talking about. And
Mhm.
I really like the way Cal treats people. I like the way he does his thing. He's authentic. He's real. He really, is out there doing the right thing, which I
Right.
love. And
Mhm.
that's the people I like to surround myself with, because he's done over $3 million in sales. He's a two-comma club award winner with ClickFunnels, but he's done all of that without ad spend. He didn't spend any ads, any money on ads, and he did that. That's it right there. And
Mhm.
so I want to be part of something. He has something special, and I want to be part of something special. And so that's how I'm learning from him. He's actually gives me some strategies, some advice on how to improve what I'm already doing, and I'm good. And yet he's like, "Hey, Maybe try to do it this way. And I said, you know what? I never thought about it. That makes so much sense. So
Right, right.
you also want to be, stay a student, still
Mhm.
learning, and don't think you know it all. I don't think I know it all, but he knows a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of things that can improve, sharpen my skills. Sharpen, what is it? Iron sharpens iron, right? And
Right,
that's literally what it is. And I like his style. He has a good heart. He has a servant heart, and he's patient. And you can see how he's very genuine in helping anybody. You
right,
know, if everybody, I always look at it this way: nobody should struggle financially. Nobody in this world, right?
right. Mhm.
They just they just don't know. That's all that is. They just don't know. If you knew how to get your business to $1 million a year, you'll be doing it. But if you're not doing $1 million a year, why not? And the reason is you don't know.
Right.
But there is a way. We have a strategy on how to do that. And that's all that is. It's not. It sounds simple, but that's really all it is. Is knowledge. It's
And
understanding.
right. And understanding and applying it too, because knowledge is nothing if it's not applied. And that's the one key thing that, consistently keeps going over in my head as well. And you've helped so many people, countless people just through your coaching and even me through your, like you said, you provide value. When I share with you, that's why I want to have you, at least I want to pay it forward to you and to have you exposed to my community as well. Because again, just the impact that you made in our conversation, you have no idea, because I'm me communicating, that's one of my good and bad things, right? But what's that one what's the one only way I can show you is I ask, you're here, you're live. You
Yeah,
want
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to so I thank you seriously for just your insight and things I'm going to even take to my business partner just to get that clarity too. Seriously. But what's the one mindset set shift, my friend, that a person has to have to take control of opportunities such as we're having in regards to collaboration? Because we can talk about it all day, but if you don't take action, you don't have a mindset shift, it's not going to be anything. So how can you help someone change their entire life just by having a new door opened?
Raise your right hand.
Want me to do that right now?
Yes.
I am.
All right.
Look,
You could put it down.
okay.
Why do you think you raised your right hand? It wasn't because I asked you to. Why do you think you raised it?
The intent to see what was going to happen after I did it.
You raised your right hand because you simply chose to.
Yes,
You could have said no, right?
exactly.
Success or staying where you at requires a choice. That's all.
Simple as
Every
that.
everything that I know it's simple. Like somebody tell me how do I become successful? How do I raise your right hand? Just choose to become successful. You know, and so that's the key. It's a choice. Everything we do is a choice. The clothes you're wearing is a choice. The way you got your hair did is your choice.
Hmm.
Having this meeting is by choice. We chose to do it right now at this time. You see, those of you that are on this call, you chose to be here. Everything that you do is a choice. And if you want to become successful, you want to reach the level of success, you want to just choose to do it. It's a choice, you know. It's like going to school. How do you know you're going to graduate and get your master's degree? I don't know. Are you going to be a good student? Are you going to study? Are you going to get good grades? Are you going to participate? All of that requires the right choices,
Right.
and if you do all the right thing, you choose to do the right thing, it's inevitable. How do you know you're gonna make this online thing a success? I don't know. Are you gonna get yourself a marketing coach? Are you gonna participate? Are you gonna study? Are you gonna see it does choosing to do all the right things is inevitable. You can't lose. You have to, if you have everything in place, you have to try to fail.
But see,
You have to
that's
try to
not an
fail.
option.
Right. You gotta try to fail. You're not gonna
Right.
fail if you choose to do the right what's required.
And I love that too, that you even brought that up in regards to making a choice, as change is something that a lot of people have a difficulty with, as well as fear. How do you fight fear when you're trying something new, based on just kind of on your own journey? How do you fight fear?
Well, fear is lack of knowledge.
Hmm.
Fear is lack of knowledge. If when we know something, we're confident.
Right.
We're gonna do it, you know? So let's say changing a tire. I don't know. Changing a tire. And you're like, I ain't never changed the tire before. I don't know if I. But if you've done it before, you're like, I got it. Slide over, move to the side. I got this. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
That's that's what fear is. It's just lack of knowledge. And so, how do you attain the knowledge? Just go get the knowledge. Understand. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. People don't see their value. They don't see their strength. Everybody has this hero inside of them, dying to come out. They need to let that person out.
And it's a
And
real talk. Like I was literally talking to my business partner about this because, like I said, with this AI legacy blueprint calculator, and I have a degree and a master's in marketing, but which is the truth. So we built this amazing tool. We know it's amazing, but the one piece that we were struggling with is the marketing piece and getting it out there, getting it to the right people. And so just even listening to you're coaching me too. I can't lie to you. And that's why I like to do these lives because I do have an open mind in regards to, getting things to the next level. Uh, So if a person like in my honest situation has a product or a service and has background in marketing but still hasn't reached their plateau that they're actually looking for, what do you think that kept you, because you said you had 6 coaches, what kept you still fighting for different coaches to actually help you get to your goals?
one of my coaches is an expert in AI,
Hmm.
and I don't know AI, but she's worked with Alexa, and she worked with IBM. She worked with she built over 100 plus applications for Microsoft, and took Microsoft to almost $1 billion in revenue. That's somebody I want to tap
That's a
into.
good
You know what I
coach.
mean?
Right, right.
And like, how do you know this stuff? I want to know. And so that's one of them. And then mindset coach, because there's still that little voice still trying to creep out, that little voice that says you're not good enough.
Right.
You need to remedy that. Read books. That's an exercise. Let me see. Do I have it here? No, I don't have it in front of me. Anyway, that's a book by Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world.
Mhm.
When you get to the scrolls, if you erase what is a black sharpie, the word will, you
Mhm.
you delete it. The word will, WILL, and read the scroll in that book as if you're already living it, and you condition your mind of reality that this is happening in the now. And so that all of that helps with the whole overall process of you becoming successful and shifting that mindset and getting better with your process. Thinking is a skill. It is a
Yes.
high income skill to think correctly.
Mhm.
People don't think about that. So
Oh, that's funny.
it-
No pun
anyway, it's
intended.
it's a lot. It's a lot of little things that take shape that must happen in order for success to come to reality. But it all starts with your thoughts. Everything starts with your thoughts. We are creators. The
Right.
house that you're living in now, before it became a house, a physical home, it first started as a thought.
Mhm.
Somebody said, "Let's build something here,"
And
right?
and right.
And it started as a thought on paper. They drew out the blueprint, and how do you make that from paper make it a reality? You hire the professionals, the experts, to
The
make
people
that
already
a
doing
reality.
100,000 a month, like
So if you want time
right.
freedom, financial freedom, live life your own terms, that's the lifestyle you want. That's the thought. It starts there. This
Yes.
is what I want. Look at those people. Why are they traveling? Why are they enjoying life? That's what I want too. Okay, write it all out, put like a blueprint. Now it's time to hire the experts to assist you in building and making that life a reality. It's the same thing. The
So
way
how
you
what
think
even
and make
made you,
decisions is the way you think and make decisions is critical to your success.
and it's 100% dealing with mindset too, because I truly agree with you there. But what made you even think and leverage into getting a VA to help out with your collaboration opportunities?
Because you don't want to put time, somebody else can do that. I want
Right.
to spend time. That's not my strength. My strength is I want to be talking to a client. That's my strength.
Right. And like you said, closing. and literally having those opportunities. So,
Educated,
but
educated.
I mean, well, closing is educating because if you do it with integrity, right?
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you
yeah,
really, that's, I mean, I don't like, I don't feel like I ever sell. Like I've been in insurance, I've been in mortgages, I've done, all different types of things. But I never think I sell, but I do provide value in
yeah.
regards to making you feel confidence with your decision. So, but so closing isn't bad because again, you should be like I'm talking to you right now. I'm even confident that's what made me talk to Jim, which made me talk to those because I felt confident with you. So don't feel bad about closing because that's a good thing, seriously.
It
So
is. I don't
I
feel bad about it. I just like the word. I
it
do
is
close though.
I mean, it is what it is because if you want somebody to be within your,
Yeah,
like you told me in the DM, if you want somebody to be within your world, everybody can't come in. We can't save the world, but within our world, we want certain people to
and you
actually
you
have
just
that.
made me think of something else that we also get people that say I can't sell. I don't like selling, and I get when people tell me that I said I think you're amazing at selling, and they're like, what do you mean? I said you just sold me on the fact that you said that you're not good at selling. I believe you.
Right,
I'm
right.
sold, and
That's
that's
funny.
what selling is anyway.
That's literally what selling is. That's
Speaking
hilarious.
with speaking with a posture and confidence. That's selling.
And that's why you told me last week that I'll be a billionaire just because of that. Like seriously. And I appreciate that. Those little mindset things, you have no idea how they help people. So thank you for that. But I wanted to jump into something fun called the top 8 because I want to keep you within the hour of our time. But, in regards to everything you share, my friend, I truly want to say thank you before I even do that. Because again, if for me, if anyone listening live, you're providing so much value. Just drop a one in the comments if you're actually getting all the the love that you're getting there right now. But I want to do something fun in regards to the top 8. And so the first question I have for you, if you could be any superhero character, any character at all, who would you be and why?
Character or
Yes.
superpower?
Let's go character first, and then we can do superpower too.
I would say Superman
Okay, Superman. Why Superman?
because I used to have many dreams of me flying. So I have dreams of flying. I would like to feel.
When you were
You look
flying,
at
Carlos,
birds.
where were you going, Carlos?
You look at
Huh?
these birds. They're just flying and enjoying life, or they just in the air, just chilling. I'm like, look at this bird. What's going through his mind? I love that. Uh,
That's hilarious.
I would like to
Okay, so
fly.
just because you can fly, just to fly.
Just fly, go anywhere.
Okay. So you said something about what superpower would you actually want?
I will have to say being invincible to
Okay,
to tapping into people's ears. Like, what are you talking about? They talk about me. See, they
that's
know I'm in the
hilarious.
room. I know I'm just
I love it. Thank you for that. Okay, so if there's any food that you can actually eat every day, all day, what food would that be if you would never get tired of it?
seafood,
Seafood.
seafood, snow crabs, king crab,
Uh-huh.
shrimp, oysters. I eat all day long.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, when I went to, I don't know if there's anybody from Atlanta, from ATL. Uh,
Okay.
there's a place in ATL called Spondevitz. Spondevitz. It's a
Spondivits.
seafood place,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to an event there, and I stayed there for a week and a half. But
Okay.
the entire week, Monday through Sunday, I was at Spondevitz every day eating seeds. I love that place.
That's hilarious. Okay. Look, like that little drop in regards to a place and location in Atlanta. So I have to check that out when I visit there again. So
Oh my
which
God, it's fantastic.
Which brings me to my next question. My food was actually sushi, so that's my actual food. But where are you originally from, Ricardo, and where do you call home now? Yeah, I'm from Detroit, Michigan. What up, though? And that's where home is as well for myself.
I'm from Puerto Rico. I was born in Puerto Rico. They moved me to New York when I was 10 because I didn't have a choice. I was a child. So they
Hmm.
moved me to New York.
So you
So,
move. It's nothing to do with your mother and father, huh? You just was moved.
and I had never met my dad, so it didn't matter.
Right,
And
right,
then
right,
from
right.
there, I stayed in New York, Brooklyn Sun. I stayed there for 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
Met my wife. Didn't want the kids to grow up in New York, so we moved to Florida, Miami, Florida,
Okay.
Homestead, and then from there in '99, and then in 2017, I moved to Clearwater, Florida, where I reside right now. Clearwater.
Nice, nice. And that's not too far from Tampa, right? Uh,
No, it's like
Te-
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, okay. I share with you. My business partner is always in Tampa. So amazing. And so I'm in Detroit. So have you ever been to Detroit, Michigan, where we say what up though as
Yes, yes, I have. What up, dog?
a
I like Detroit, and I had this client. I went to see a client,
hmm
and when she picked me up at the airport, she's giving me a whole history. This area right here, this is with the Ford or whatever building, and this is the history of it. I'm like, how do you know this stuff?
I love it. I love it. So, okay, so here's the next question, which is amazing. What's your favorite place you've ever traveled to? And you don't have to say Detroit. And why?
Detroit now. Aruba has always been the best place. I used to go like twice every other month. Aruba, because
Nice.
it's beautiful. Just a beautiful place. People are cool. Food's good. I love the beaches, Aruba beaches, the clubs. I still turn up. So
That's hilarious.
Aruba, Aruba
Aruba.
is Aruba. I will always say Aruba.
I love it. I've never been to Aruba. I've been to 48 out of 50 states, but I used to live in Toronto. My cousin used to play professional basketball there for the Toronto Raptors, Chris Bosh. So
Okay, we need
I
some tickets then. We need some tickets.
so retired 2 times. Retired. So
Still to get tickets.
he is no longer he's in Miami, like
I
went
love it.
there and everything, right? Retired. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
Toronto, seriously, when he lived up there, like the different cultures, the areas, the T dot was home. So I have to say Toronto was my favorite. No offense against Detroit. I love Detroit, but Toronto was amazing. Okay, so now do you have a day or a holiday or a season that you look forward to most every year? Now mine is my sobriety date, which is November the 20th, 2023. So I'm two
Congrats.
years. I'm a little over 2 years now. I'm out here wet behind the ears, but I do see that day being just peeling back the old Adrian and getting to something new. So I have to say that's my favorite day. Do you have a day that you look forward to most every year?
I don't, and the reason is because I don't like unless you tell me what today is Monday or Tuesday. See, yeah, today's Tuesday.
Today's
I
Tuesday.
wouldn't know. It's just
Hmm.
another day for me every day, and so it's gotten so bad that sometimes my friends come used to come over to play pool at the house. I had a
Hmm.
pool table every Friday, 8 o'clock, and one day I was texting everybody. I said, "Hey, where y'all at? Y'all not here? What's going on? We got food, got beer. Let's go." And like it's Monday, right? I was like,
Right.
Monday. So, and that's how you know I don't have a day. It's just another day. Every day is just a day to celebrate and be thankful. And so, we give in our family, we give gifts all year round. We don't wait till Christmas. Just every month somebody gets something. So that's how I live. And I just live to have experiences now. So that's where I'm at and with my mindset and the rest of my next 100 years to go.
Okay, 100.
So
So, so how important is it for you to share your story, your authentic story, like for your family, seeing you where you are now, and just in people that you actually mentor as well? How important is it to share your story?
yeah, it's very important because people you're you're gonna there's always something in everyone's story. It doesn't have to be the entire story, but you may say something, one thing that can trigger somebody's, to say, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. She
Hmm.
just said something and inspired me, or Ricardo just said something and inspired me. So it's one thing. So it's important to get your story out there because you can say something, one thing can change everything for someone that will push them to say, you know what, I'm choosing to do it now.
Right.
You just never know.
And that's why I share my sobriety date like that because, so many people live behind the curtains of what they did in their past to let them define them, but
Let that
that's not
out.
how it works. Like, you can relate with people just from being honest and open about your own story. So that's kind of the reason I asked you that question. So thank you for sharing that as well.
Yeah.
And
What is your sobriety day?
November the 20th. It's also the day my cousin passed away too. I mean, his birthday, excuse me, not passed away, but his birthday that passed away.
Oh, I'm
So November
sorry.
20th, no worries, because I have an angel now, right? So it helps
Okay.
me to keep going as well as make sure that he keeps me in line. Jab keeps me in line. So, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
That's good.
Are you in the sober journey? Because you brought it. No.
Oh no, no. I was just asking to so I could remember and celebrate with you. Say, oh, the 22nd, let's go.
The 20th
The
every month.
20th. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
The
So here,
22nd was your thing. Okay, got it.
yep. So November 20th. So,
All right.
if you could recommend one book or movie that changed your mindset or forever, what movie or book would it be?
The book that I will
Mhm.
always recommend is called The Power of Desire.
Hmm.
The Power of Desire. It's an old book. It's an old goodie. It's by Jack Zufelt with a Z.
Okay.
Zuffelt. I think it's one F. Jack Zufelt. The Power of Desire. And if you get the audiobook, you'll hear him say, you know, you know, play the tapes, like the cassette tapes. He still
Mhm.
says that. So that's how you know it's old. Back in the day, we had
Right,
cassette
right, right.
tapes. There you go.
Okay.
That's it right there. So
Mhm.
Jack Zufeld was actually one of my personal mentors back in the days.
Okay.
And so, but I learned this book taught me not to set goals
Mm.
because I learned that, you know, if you want something, you don't need to write it down. I
Right.
don't need to write these goals down. You want it, you go get it. Period. You see? And I always ask, he asked me, have you ever written a goal on paper and you never and didn't hit it? Yeah.
Mhm.
Have you ever reached for a goal that you didn't write and got it? Yeah. So and that's where desire comes in. If you want something bad enough, ain't nobody gonna stop you. And
Right.
you see the power of desire a lot in couples,
Mhm.
husband and wife. Because if the wife says, honey, I don't care what you say, I'm doing it, I'm going with the girls, she's doing it. Ain't nothing you can do.
Mhm.
And
Right.
vice versa. If the husband says, I understand, I'm doing it regardless. It's happening. This is good for us.
Mhm.
But it costs too much. Doesn't matter. I got to
Right.
do it. And so that's where you see that desire played out mostly in couples. And that's in business, people always come to me and say, we want time freedom, financial freedom. They want all this stuff, right? Live that life that they say they want. And then you present it with a solution. You say, oh, it costs that much? Yeah, I don't know. Let me think about it. The desire's not there. And there's people that have no money, broke. I mean, I've seen people living out of their car, physically homeless,
Mhm.
come up with 5 grand and invest it in a course. How do you
It's
do that?
happened.
It's the desire. They're like,
Right.
I don't care. I ain't got it, but you know what? Give me a couple of days. This is happening. We're gonna figure this out. And that's the desire. One exercise, how much that we got? Oh, we got 4. We
Go
got
ahead.
1
Go
minute.
on. I want to see the exercise. Because you know you're creating this desire for me right now. Because you know I want this what I've created to
There's an
win. So.
exercise that I do that I tell people, I say, what if I come up to you and I go, here's $1 million check, no catch, guarantee. You know, I'll give you the check. All I need is 5 grand and the check is yours. How quickly can you get it? And all of a sudden there's money. You
Right.
know,
Right.
so you say,
Right.
hey, this is working with me, gonna be 5 grand, 10 grand, whatever. And then I ain't got it. I say, here's a check for $1 million. Will you do it? If this was real, right? No catch, guarantee, right? All of a sudden money's available.
You
Why
know it.
is that? And the reason is because the mind shift like that. So they see the value in the check, but they fail to see the value in themselves.
Right.
You are worth more than the check. You
Mhm.
realize that if you invest in coaching or learn some skills and become this person, you can make multiple of these. You don't have to ever
Mhm.
worry about money ever again. But if you don't know, you don't know.
That's the goal, and that's the steps that we're working into. A marketing coach, if for everybody that's listening. So, and that's real. You have no idea. It's real because I know that the coaching that I've invested in, which has been amazing. So, no knock to any of my mentors, seriously. But in regards to, like you mentioned, if you have a $1 billion AI person that's worked with IBM and done all of the end goals. So you have to start with the end in mind. So I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. Trust me. So tell me this, if you could go back to your younger self with one piece of advice, what advice would you take would it be?
One piece of advice:
Yes.
just learn to think right. Learn that skill,
Hmm.
because a lot of people, I even I know smart people that make choices that kill the whole business.
Mm-hmm.
And I said they have the knowledge, but they don't have the knowledge on how to execute that knowledge. And that's what the mistake comes in. And there's
Mm-hmm.
people that don't have the knowledge and they say, well, this feels right, let me do it. And it's a big mistake. They don't know. Learn to think right. That's what you want other people before you make major choices in your business, in your life.
Right.
Because one choice is not just going to affect you, it's going to affect your family because they rely on you for that income. And here
Mm-hmm.
you are making a decision that you feel is right without having the right knowledge or understanding, not having your, good people around you. It's not, that's not good. You want to get accurate knowledge and accurate application. That's power.
I appreciate that because I mean that's huge in itself because again you have stinky thinking sometimes, but you have to listen to the people that are around you as well. So you surrounding yourself with great people is a part of it's half the battle. So Superman, I had to go ahead and I had to do it. I had to create you a Superman on the screen as well. But if you can actually describe your brand in one word and in regards to just everything that you've been through, what would that one word? I had to have you flying with the sun behind you.
Freedom.
That's the one word that you'd actually describe your brand as is freedom.
Freedom to fly, freedom to do whatever you want. Time freedom is key.
And so
And
but you
that's
mentioned
all that matters.
experiences though, right? In regards to it's not even about money anymore for you. It's more so about living out the
Experience.
experience.
Yeah, having the freedom to experience.
What was the best experience that, and I'm gonna let you go with that. What was the best experience that you can actually say that you've been through?
Not me personally. As far as it depends. As far as what? Because I spend a lot. And they,
So, I mean, give me an example experience that, is just memorable when someone, that jumps to mind when I ask you that question. Because of course, this isn't
there
scripted.
was
So,
a client who called me at 1 o'clock in the morning, crying, not screaming, but she was crying, wanting
hmm
to quit. She's like, I want to quit. I made a mistake. Blah blah blah. I can't do this. She and all this stuff. She had a daughter, her newborn daughter, 3 months
hmm
old. Her name was Ashley, and she just ranting on the phone, screaming why she wants to quit and she can't do it. And I said, "Where's Ashley?" And she's like, "Are you not listening to me? I'm over here crying, pouring my crap out, whatever." I said, "Where's Ashley? Where is she?" She's like, "She's sleeping." I said, "Go wake her up."
hmm
She's like, "What?" I said, "Go wake her up." And after like 5 minutes going back and forth, she woke up, and then you can hear the baby sound. And I say, "Are her eyes open?" And she says, "Yes." I said, "Look into her eyes and tell her what you just told me. Tell her why you want to quit."
mm,
And she didn't quit. So if you don't have a strong enough why and desire, it just doesn't work. She didn't quit, and she went on to become a seven-figure earner.
I love it. And definitely under your tutelage, clearly, because again, you gave her that inspiration. Like you just inspired me today and everyone listening live or the replay. So I want to say thank you because like I told you last week, God does everything by design. And, this conversation today, truly a lot of gem and values to any entrepreneur that might be on the fence in regards to not even just believing in themselves, but also about the importance of coaching as well as investing in themselves and knowing their value. So being self-taught and self-made, is there anything, Ricardo, that you would like to share with people in regards to your own blueprint for owning your value and who you are?
We got to do that at another time because I got to jump on Zoom. And
This is your end. So that's
yeah,
the end. This is your end moment that I was giving you right now.
yeah, we have to jump on Zoom though. I got to jump on Zoom on another call because I
Okay.
already texted somebody that said, "Hey, give me 5 minutes," and
Okay.
it's past 5 minutes. But
Awesome.
but
Well,
I
thank
should have
you.
blocked out more time, but that call, that slot was already taken. But thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be here. We got to do it again, and then go from there. There's a part two.
Awesome, my friend. It is a part two. Cynthia said thank you as well, and this is amazing. So thank you. Get to your call. I don't want you to be late.
All right, guys, take care. Bye
Okay.
bye.
Thank you. Let's go. Ricardo Rodriguez giving his blueprint for owning the value. It's funny how God works. And if you receive value from this actual live today, drop freedom in the comments because with freedom being Ricardo's one word, I'm just elated to have had the opportunity to honestly just talk to my business partner about marketing, trying to build our billionaire brand in regards to our AI legacy blueprint, and being able to go through the steps of having the right system set up to actually grow and be able to do that. Having a collaboration and having a strategy, I know it works. But sometimes when you go into something new and learning something new, you want something when after you build something, you want it's spectacular, right? But even when you're going and building, it takes time. You have to actually listen and trust and have something better than you want to breathe. That's kind of one of my things I get from ET Eric Thomas. And so thank you so much, Cynthia Dozier, for just dropping freedom as well as, giving feedback in regards to today's live, because again, this is just the beginning of what can be possible. And what can be possible within you is all about you taking a chance on yourself, making a choice to win, and being able to get around and collaborate with the right people to being the best version of yourself that you don't even know is right within your reach. So, if you got any value, I hope that you actually, again, I'll drop the replay in regards to being able to see your end results and being able to be the best version of you. It's you versus you. It was funny before I got on this live today. I was watching something on television and it said you can't live my dream for me. I have to live my dream. So it doesn't matter. I have this amazing invention, so you might have an amazing product or service that you provide to people, but if they don't see the actual input, if they don't see your passion, if you don't present it in a way where it's going to help you be, show the world, that's what marketing and coaching can actually do for you. So invest in yourself, invest in your vision. Hopefully, you got some actual value here today. Thank you so much, Cynthia, again for actually engaging as well as interacting in regards to this live virtual conversation every Tuesday live at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Tuesday, we're going to have an actual user of the AI Legacy Blueprint Master Calculator to be able to come on live and give their experience going through the 90-day challenge and being able to get started and understand how this blueprint works. It's on the screen in regards to getting started to seeing how the actual AI Legacy Blueprint works. So again, having someone to actually show you the method, show you the way to financial freedom. It takes effort, it takes time, and it takes getting around the right people. Ricardo Rodriguez, thank you so much for impacting my audience and my community today. Hopefully, you got some value as well. I can, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though? Detroit, Michigan. Thank you, world. And I'll see you next Tuesday, 4 p.m. live, Eastern Standard Time at Adrian Mays. Let's go. Deuces.